Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this fine Monday morning? Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Good morning, Alex.
Medal of Honor ceremony going on at the moment. Good
Yeah,
morning.
I kind of caught some of that. David Morales over on YouTube sent me a message concerning it. But I, boy, there are not only is there an incredible amount of narrative in the news, there are some anomalies that we're going to talk about today that I've been able to pick out. And a lot of people are doing a lot of speculating on what's going on, and it's interesting. So many of the people here in the LA area are screaming and yelling about it being an unconstitutional move by President Trump. And it just blows my mind that these people don't understand the Constitution, specifically the War Powers Act, right? That is wait a minute, my camera's way off now. The War Powers Resolution Act in the early 70s, mid 70s, essentially gave President Trump or whatever commander in chief the ability to go to war or to protect national security. He only has to notify Congress within 48 hours of the move. And then he has 60 days. And after 60 days, then the Congress can come back and say, oh, yes or no or whatever. But it just blows my mind how so many people don't get that part of it.
Well, Sam, are you really surprised? Because most of those people can't even tell you what the three branches of government are.
Yeah, very good point, Alex. Very good point. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, guys.
Are you back in the saddle in Iowa?
I am. I've been recuperating and resting. It
Well,
was a long, exhausting trip.
I'm sure that right arm is probably worn out. I'm sure.
Oh, you stole my thunder, Sam.
Oh, sorry.
They're just push button nowadays, Sam. But
Is that what it is?
I didn't even make it that far. After walking through the gigantic 12 acres of farm stuff.
Wow.
It was resting.
12 acres?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Good morning, James.
It was.
Good morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
Do you have your NOS handy? Because it looks like you need it this morning.
I got coffee.
You got coffee. All right. Well, at least we got something going there. All right. Well, let me say. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get this chat going. Holy smokes. Okay. We got our first Trump train. Benji 1959. Thanks, Big Ben. All right. Let's say some good mornings here. Hits is here. First up, Hitesh. Good morning, Hitesh. Jay Hicks, Cindy Hayden 59, Lee, Benji. Oh, we got another Trump train. Mary Lee's Brown. Thank you, Mary Lee's. Let's see. I completely lost my track. Oh, okay. Rick Senior's here. Richard is here. PJ Party Peggy, Mary Lee's Brown, Joy, Gen X Nick. Holy smokes. Oh, my God. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, did you change your username? Holy smokes. You guys, you just throw me for a loop every time you do that. So now Charlie is Carla Hochin. Hey Ben, thanks for the chain. Carla Hochin was Charlie, I think. I think that's the right Charlie.
Nope. He said no. Carla Hochin said no.
Oh, it's not that. Oh, okay. So it's not the Charlie. Oh my gosh. I'm just getting thrown curveball after curveball. Squiggly 77 Craig is here. Good morning, Craig. Deb S. Sue B. Martini time. Thank you for the gifts. Sue BQ, happy Monday to you as well, Sue. Deb S. Kelly Thurman, too. Holy smokes. D is here. Crystal Zeski, Sherry from East Tennessee. Jackie. Good afternoon, Jackie. Well, good morning here. Good afternoon to you. Newsmore U is here. Hometown girl, David. David, again, thank you for all those messages this morning. I truly appreciate it. I said martini time. Mama Balama is here. She said, Heidi ho, neighbors. Well, Heidi ho to you too from a city slicker. Boss lady Teresa's here. Good morning, boss lady. Brian, good morning, Brian. Donna Fox, Barb 7599, Wendy. Holy smokes, Andrea Lynn 81, Diva 53, Wendy said another Trump train. I know, it's so cool. Big B said one branch thinks they can dictate to the president. I know, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, but that's part of this whole, exposure operation. Dave Bouchard's here. Dave said, good morning. What color hat did Trump have Saturday morning? White hats are in control. Exactly, David. Exactly. Hey, Joe Buckwheat 2's here. Mama Balama, thank you for the glasses. I like the 3D look. It works for me. Dana Mackey is here. Good morning, Dana. Pure blood Holly Johns. She said, so glad all our men are back. Yes, we are. And we're going to have you on this week as well, Holly, if you have the time to join us. Chris Romano is here. Brian posted squirrels, of course, in the chat. Why would I expect anything less, Brian? I speak 1717 said, sure wish the gold and silver price would stop messing with my emotions. What's that old saying that Joe Rambo likes to say, and it came from Boone Cutler? Protect your mind and control your emotions is absolutely apropos. Tire Man just said a Trump train. Thank you, Tire Man. Very nice of you. Oh, geez. We got some trolls in the chat, but that's okay. Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're here.
On the note of the trolls, don't kick them. Just mute them for 5 minutes and don't kick them because it helps our algorithm.
There we go. Silver Fox, thank you for the Trump train. Nice. You guys are just lighting us up this morning. Thank you. Richard Pacente is here over on YouTube. David Morales said there's a lot of counter misinformation trying to veer the direction of the narration. 100% I agree. That's to be expected at this point. David Morales said he was in a white hat and his tie was off. Job done. Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Christy B78. Towie Bixby is here. Good morning, Towie. Glad you could make it. Grows and Rose is here. Hey, Grows and Rose. Blue Flames 41. Melfin 71, also known as Melissa Flitter. Good morning, Melissa. Okay, so this whole thing is just going crazy on me up here. Mary Lee's Brown. Good morning, Mary Lee's. That's really weird. The what you call it? Oh well, we'll get to it. All right, Alex, let's get some indices going here this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, March 2nd. Wow, where did the first 2 months go? Before I get into indices, I just want to share a message from Hitz. His wife said that the Ayatollah is Ramadan.
Exactly. Nice one, Hitz. I like that.
Too soon? Too soon?
No, of course
anyway, not. Welcome in, everybody, on this fine Monday afternoon. Looking at the markets, a little mixed all the way across the board this morning. S&P 500 is down 1 point to 6,877. The Dow is down 91 points to 48,886. The NASDAQ, however, is up 72 points to 22,740. Looking at the commodities market, you've got crude oil up $3 a barrel. We're back up around $70.75. Spot price on gold up $5,316. That's up 68. All-time high. Silver is down $5, however, at $88. Still up there, $88.05. Be great if it could go back to above that $100 mark. But looking at the crypto markets, pretty good swings on the upside. You've got Bitcoin up 4.8% at 69,353. That's up like that was like $4,000 or $5,000. XRP up 2.6% at 141. Ethereum up 4% at 2,053. Stellar Lumen XLM up 2% at 16 cents. Cardano up 2.4% at 28 cents. Not a bad report today.
It's coming up.
One interesting post. There's a couple of the Mrs. Clinton, but there is a picture of a watch and a pen. Clock is ticking. If we are merely a so-called conspiracy fake news narrative, then why daily attacks on the biggest media companies in the world?
Yeah,
exactly. You are the news now.
Amen. John Gwynn, thank you for lighting us up here. Okay, so Wendy's here. Hey, Wendy. So Charlie, who I'm not sure. I got to get this right because it's really bugging me now. Kevin Kiesler's here. Hey, Kevin. So Carla Hushin said, I mean, yes. So is Carla Hushin Charlie? Used to be Charlie, and now is Carla Hushin? Because I have no idea at this point. I am completely lost. But maybe you can put that in the chat so I know who the heck I'm talking to here. Nut is here.
I'm
Good morning.
Charlie.
What's that?
Carla Hoochen said, I'm Charlie.
Oh,
Morning,
it is Charlie. Morning, Charlie. God, you guys you just do that just to screw me up, don't you? I'm convinced of it now. Hometown girl, thank you for all the gifts. Blue Flames 41. Holy smokes. Pureblood Holly Johns, you're a sweetheart. Martini time. Holy smokes, man, I can't keep up here. This is wonderful. XOX, thank you for the gifts. April Burgess as well. All right, let's see here. Carla, Charlie, you're cranking me up here. Melvin71, also Melissa Flitter said, we have to keep you on your toes, Sam. Keep me on my toes. I'm like a ballerina dancer at this point, on my toes. Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture today?
Welcome in, everybody, on this Monday morning. Happy to be home from South Texas. It was up over 90 degrees one day, so that was a very good spoilage of a day. But corn is down 1 to 6. Soybeans are down 2 to 9. Wheat is down 9 to 14. Cattle's down 0.1%, and hogs are down 0.3%. We sat in and got to meet Secretary Rollins down there and sit in a press conference down there. So that was pretty cool. The USDA is aggressively modernizing their platforms to improve and streamline and consolidate for the farmers. And they are adapting a login for foreign-owned land reporting. For anybody that's got information on that, they're modernizing deal, and they're going to do a one farmer, one file, and that'll carry through the government to different agencies, which is long overdue for the farmers.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. John Gwynn lighting us up. Thank you, John. CG is here. Good morning, CG. Wendy J. Dave Bouchard, thank you for all the gifts. Baby girl, April Burgess. Holy smokes. Thank you, everyone. So sweet. Okay, so what's interesting, that's, yes, I'm on my toes. That's for sure. All right, I completely lost track of where I'm at now. Dave Bouchard, thank you for all the gifts. James, what do we have for a military report today, sir?
Well, gosh, with everything going on in the world, it's kind of hard to pick a topic that's not going to be covered at some point today. But anyway, we do have some different news. Thanks, everybody, for being here. The United States isn't the only country on the forefront of using technology. China, too, has been developing next-generation weapon systems. Uncrewed ground vehicles, underwater and aerial drones, and collaborative combat aircraft, which are autonomous jets that fly along with crewed or piloted aircraft to aid in missions, are quickly becoming core components of China's fighting force. This long-term military modernization has 3 distinct overlapping phases: mechanization, informatization, and intelligentization. I don't even know if that's a word.
It is now, James.
AI, it is the use of AI to pilot aircraft, respond to cyber attacks, track seaborne vessels, identify and strike targets on land, at sea, and in space. China is also developing systems that ingest, analyze, and augment massive amounts of data that enhances technical and strategic decision-making and gives tools to create deep fake images and videos for disinformation campaigns. Boy, have we learned about that. Future wars will become a system of systems. One of the keys to winning futuristic wars will be which country can degrade and paralyze an enemy's command and control center, logistics hubs, and strike capability. As a stark reminder, we aren't the only ones, folks.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. 100%. There is so much going on, you guys. In fact, we're going to jump right into the main story, which, Towie Bixby said a level up. So did John Gwynn. Thanks, you guys. That's so cool. Thank you so much. So we're going to jump into the main story because I think it's important. We're going to need spend some time on it, the whole Iran thing. Now, for those of you who, I went to help Dr. Neil with his TikTok account over the weekend on Saturday. And I just wanted to pop on to try and get his count dialed in for Fridays. And next thing I know, we had 200 people there. So I apologize if we didn't dig deep, but it was, I like to wait a few hours, a day, maybe day or two to kind of get an idea of what the heck's going on before jumping into it. Well, that's happened now. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Iran thing. Now, we all know that President Trump has a plan. At least I believe he does. We have there are a certain number of anomalies that took place during this Iran attack, and I use that in air quotes. And some of the things that caught my eye were, number one, you have the Ayatollah, who we apparently took out. Right now, question is, when did we take him out? If any other time in history, when have we seen aircraft carriers surround a country? They knew that we were coming. They knew we were there. They knew we had incredible amounts of armament, yet they chose not to leave their compound. The Ayatollah didn't leave his compound. I find that difficult to believe. That's not to say that the narratives that are being produced are not accurate. They may be, but they also may be a recap of something that took place prior. So I'm not saying what is or what isn't real. You have to decide for yourself. But I find it very interesting that the Ayatollah decided to stay in his camp, knowing that we had, what, James, 2 aircraft carriers over there?
Correct.
Right.
Actually, there's 2 more on the way, not just from us, but France also.
Okay, so you have all this armament over there. You have the Ayatollah not leaving. What's interesting is you have a lot of the left screaming and yelling about how it's unconstitutional. We shouldn't be doing this. Well, in the mid-'70s, I think it was the mid-'70s, the War Powers Resolution Act gave the commander-in-chief the ability to send out to act proactively when it comes to national security. And he doesn't even have to notify Congress till within 48 hours. Then he has 60 days to be able to do what he thinks is necessary. Then Congress can get involved and say, oh, maybe you can't do that, or maybe you can. James, what's your take on the Ayatollah supposedly still being there? What's your take on all of these signals being sent, and yet they were caught with their pants down? Sounds fishy to me. What do you think?
Well, it wasn't just the Ayatollah; it was his whole cabinet. There was quite a few of them that were taken out, as they reported. But so far, according to Red Crescent, it's basically the Red Cross of Iran. 555 people have been killed so far, including 4 U.S. service members. This isn't an overnight campaign, according to General Raisin Kane. He says it may go on for 4 weeks. In Kuwait, 3 U.S. jets got brought down by AI or friendly fire. They flew into a zone, and AI picked them up, didn't know who they were, and took them out. The biggest objective at this point is preventing Islamic regime from acquiring nuclear weapons. Hegseth, sorry to have to mention his name.
That's okay. Holly's not on the screen today, so I'm sure she's excited, but go ahead.
She might be blushing just a little bit.
Hegseth, our mission is to destroy the missile threat, destroy their navy, and give them no nukes. In addition, Iranian strikes where U.S. bases were in Bahrain, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Well, guess what that provoked? It provoked the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and France to join our mission in liberating the Persian Gulf. Economic effects of this, we're going to feel this, and we already see it. Dutch natural gas is up 48%. The global benchmark on oil is up 9%, and the U.S. benchmark on oil is up 8%. Just so you have an idea what this is really costing us, and I think we've probably got this figured out how we're going to get repaid. Naval operations alone are $13 million a day. Broad deployment and readiness is $25 to $40 million a day.
Yeah,
it's a lot of expense.
It is, and that's another thing too. Melvin71, thank you for all the gifts, Melissa. Very sweet of you. Beverly Howard's here. Pure Blood Holly John's lighting us up as well. You guys are just great. Thank you. So a lot of talk is, we're trying to get the oil. Well, 70 or 80% of the oil from Iran goes to China. It doesn't come here, right? And isn't it interesting that we took Venezuela first, which supplied the majority of their oil to China. Then we went to Iran. Dave, what do you make of that?
Yeah, that may well be something to that, more to it. That's something that obviously we've been dealing with them almost 50 years at this point. Um, I was going to say that the War Powers Resolution of 1973, 48 hours to contact Congress, like you said, and their withdrawal within 60 to 90 days unless Congress declares war on that. And we've took out 48 top leaders also. Obviously, the Supreme Leader, the Chief of Staff, the Minister of Defense, Commander of the Revolutionary Guard, the Secretary of Defense of Council, and the head of the Supreme Leader's military bureau, and so on and so forth. Well, those are the top dogs they took out. So I don't think this is going to last much more long. I mean, there's going to be only so many people out there to know how to run this stuff, and every drone and every missile they send out, they know where it came from.
Exactly.
So that'll be gone.
Exactly. Lisa Maria's here, and Lisa said, we encourage First Amendment rights here as long as you're respectful. 100%, Lisa. Thank you for bringing that in. We've got a lot of new people joining us today. Welcome into all the new people. Hey, XRP Mom is here, and Wildlife Fan just showed up. Hey, Wildlife. But it's really important. We're open to any views, as long as you're respectful. Lisa, you're absolutely right, and thank you for putting that in the chat. Alex, what do you make of all this?
Oh boy.
I know.
Well, how they started that and how they were able to take care of so many at one time was a false narrative that they used. The report that I followed was that since 2007, they've had people operating inside the borders. They were able, through communication devices, to put out a false narrative, which prompted the leadership to come together in a secure bunker in Tehran, which they then took out. What I find interesting, just a side note to the clown show, the videos and the live streams that I've seen from the streets of Tehran and other places there, you have men and women and children cheering, dancing, carrying the American flag right beside the Iranian flag. But in the United States, they're all protesting it. So make sense of that one for me, if you would. But
actually, Alex, here in Los Angeles, there's a lot of Iranians in the streets praising President Trump here in LA.
And I've seen that too. But again, know your history. Where did this start? Clear back in the 70s. Understanding.
We got a Trump trade. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Blah 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 blah. Sorry. Go
ahead. Understanding where this all began. Understanding that, Trump has talked a lot about the nuclear deal that Obama put in place and what a disaster that was. One, there was no limits on it. Two, it was allowing them to do things that they shouldn't be doing. And I think when the dust settles from all this, there's going to be some accountability for where the uranium has very distinct markers. They can track that stuff. They can track that stuff from its source to its destination, where it came from, who purchased it, who refined it, who shipped it, who did everything, right? What happens when that comes back to Clinton's and Obama and a Uranium One deal? I think there's a whole lot going on. The telltale will be, do we do what we did in Venezuela? Is it going to be a come in, take care of business, hand it over to the people? He's been setting the stage for the people to take it for quite a while through messaging, right? It's going to be an interesting scenario. But if you again go back in history and look at Iran and the Persian people and the pride, and like, it was one of the golden cities. Like, there were some really great things to go and see and do, and you see business women and all of these things, and all of a sudden you have the Ayatollah, and I believe it was on April 1st that he instituted the Islamic State, thus shutting all that down. So, man, there is just a whole ball of wax there to unwind. Patience, right? We're going to have to sit back and see how it all ferrets out. The other interesting thing that came to top of mind is why the support on this operation from both Russia and China.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Almost like President Trump, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong Un, President Putin are all working together. Isn't that interesting?
And you got to
Say
remember, Sam,
capitulation tour.
Yeah, exactly.
going back to the oil, China only produces 5.3 million barrels themselves, but use 16.5 million barrels of oil a day.
Wow.
So that's
Talk about a
so they
choke
still
point.
need 2/3. Oh yeah,
That's
oh,
a
yeah.
choke point for sure. So,
So if there was no capitulation, would they not be throwing a screaming temper tantrum over the facts
Of
that are
course.
transpiring? Like
100%.
logically common sense.
100%, I agree. XRP Mama said, sorry, not sorry for sending the Trump train. You never have to be sorry for sending a Trump train. I'm all over that. Pure Blood Holly Johns, thank you for all the gifts. High Tide, thank you for all the gifts. Mama Balama, you guys are so sweet. Hey, Rose and Leaves just made it. Hey, Rose and Leaves, glad you could make it. So now I'm really confused. The original Charlie, Charli, just showed up. So I don't know if the other person is the actual Charlie. If this is Charlie, who's on first? I don't know who's on third. I have no idea.
I'm glad they're both here.
Yeah, exactly. Marianne Thompson just showed up. Good morning, Marianne. David Morales over on YouTube said, "Some Ting Wong somewhere." Have you guys ever seen that meme where it talks the newscaster talking about what's going on? Oh my God, that's an absolute crack up, David.
Did I send it to you guys? The grocery store I went by.
No,
it's called the Wong Groceries. I ended up at the wrong Wong Grocery today. It was
exactly.
WONG, and that was in San Antonio. I was laughing.
Holy smokes! Melissa, thank you. Oh, we got another Trump trade from Charlie, the original Charlie. Oh, thanks, Charlie. Everybody in the chat for putting in FYF, and everyone thank you all for sharing out this live on TikTok and on every other platform. We got a lot of new people in here. Let's everybody share it out. We're for whatever reason we're hitting the FYF, so I'm stoked. Let's get some more in here. What's that? Oh, there we go. Exactly. I love it. I love it. Hey, Never Quit is here. Martin's WB just showed up. Hey, Martin, Gen X Holtz is here. Said, oh no, I'm late. Well, we're going to have a little talk with you after the show, Gen X Holtz. Just kidding. Glad you're here.
Maybe it'd be appropriate, since we do have such a large audience right now, to do a survey and see those that are in support of what we're seeing happen in Iran and those that we're seeing that are not in support.
Great idea. So if you are in support of what we're doing with Iran right now, put a 1 in the chat. If you are not in support, put a 2. 1 you support, 2 you don't. Let's see what everybody says. Holy smokes. PIP said 1, Wendy J 1, Tireman 1, Marianne Thompson 1, Glenn 1, David Bouchard 1, Mary Lise Brown 1, Melvin 1, Melvin 71, Melissa 1, Wendy 1. Holy smokes, Vicky 1. I haven't seen 1, 2. Of course, Brian puts a 3 in the chat. Why doesn't that surprise me, Brian? Tally Bixby 1, Martini Time 1. Holy smokes, Benji 1959 1, D 1, Rockhog 1. I Speak 17 1. Everyone has put a 1. I have not seen one number 2 at all.
I saw several 2s come through.
Did you? Okay, I didn't see those. Yeah. Lee, Steve 1, Lee 1, Terry Dykus 1. Hey, Terry, PJ Party, a whole bunch of 1s. Yeah, exactly. Crystal Zeski. Hey, Crystal, with a whole bunch of 1s.
Getting some 1s over on YouTube and other platforms as well. So
okay, yeah. Oh yeah, let's see. Athena Wilson 1, Richard Pacente 1, Beth D 1. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's support President Trump. All right. Wow. You guys are just lighting us up today. Thank you. There's a lot of new people in here today. I want to welcome all of you. You are welcome to say whatever it is you want, as long as it's respectful. You can disagree with it. That's okay. Oh, Wendy, thank you for that bouquet. How beautiful is that? Martin's WB, another one. Everybody's putting one. I just love it. God, this is just wonderful. That's support for the American mission, in my opinion. Just support. All right, let's move on. That was a big one. And like Alex had said, the demonstrations in support of President Trump all over the country. We had, for some reason, my screens aren't working here now. That's really weird. Hold on, everybody. see if I can get this to work. Yeah, Australia, Canada, UK, Switzerland, Germany, France. It's everywhere. Everyone is supporting President Trump in this move. Again, Iran has been, who was it? Was it Bush that called it the axis of evil? I think it was Bush 2. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Bush 1. But anyway, you're talking about taking out uh, a nefarious group of individuals. And I'm not talking about the Iranian people. We're talking about the Iranian government, the superfluous government, the Ayatollahs. They're done. And I'm grateful for it.
Sam, and not only terrorism, what else were they behind, and what else are they, what I mean? It could be another head of a snake, let's put it that way, and I'm sure it is.
Exactly. Silver Fox, Wendy, thank you so much. Melvin, 71, Melissa, thank you so much. All right, well, let's move on to some other stories here. Did you guys, anybody else have anything else you want to add to that?
Sam, I do. When you go into a situation like this where no other country wanted us to use their airspace, we had to go through and do this on our own. Bahrain, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia all decided to join and France all decided to join us in this campaign. That's a major thing.
100%. 100%. I couldn't agree more. I think the writing is on the wall. How much of this has been handled in the background? I think the majority of this storm, shall we say, took place in President Trump's first term. Now we're seeing the optical rollout of it. And maybe I'm crazy, but it sure looks that way to me. What do you think, Alex?
Well, again, understanding the situation and what's gone on in that country, 10 million plus people have defected, escaped, left, tried to get away because of the policies and the I mean, it's oppression of women. Not again. Know your history. Go back and look in the 50s, 60s, and the beginning of the 70s. What that country looked like. What life looked like for the people of those countries, right? Before the switch was flipped. Several people in the comments saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. The news says nobody supports it. Well, it depends on which bullhorn you're listening to, right? And I think the narrative and the truth, if you look at history, if you look at firsthand accounts of what's going on. How many countries did Sam just name off where there's people marching in the streets with both Iran and American flags? There's people spray painting. I saw a woman in Iran spray painting "Help Us Trump" on a wall. Yes. I mean, you're dropping Starlink into the country so that those people have the ability to communicate. Do you not understand why that's important? I'm not going to argue with the trolls, but it's just a strange lens that the media wants to portray.
Right, James. What were you going to say?
Halftime.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's talking about sponsors.
Oh, shoot. Is it? Oh, geez. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize it was already halfway through. I was so engrossed in our conversation. Mary Lee Brown, thank you for the level up ship. That was sweet. Thank you. Okay, sponsor time. Mike Lindell, My Pillow. Mike can use our support. If you need some pillows, if you need some blankets, if you need some sheets, go to mypillow.com. Use the discount code SAM. It supports this channel. It supports Mike Lindell. And dare I say, it supports American manufacturing. Secondly, Neil Naturopathic, chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products. Dr. Neil is on our show with us now on Fridays. He and Dr. Glidden were on fire last Friday, and so grateful that they're here. Go to neilnaturopathic.com, use the code SAM20, SAM20, and get 20% off your order. Also, as I said, Dr. Glidden. Dr. Glidden is a stalwart when it comes to health and wellness. He's created a website where you can ask him virtually any question you can think of about health and wellness. Go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Glidden's button, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount. Now, I would encourage everyone to do that because he's going to be raising the prices soon, so get in before he does. All right, let's see here. Chris Romano said, "Thank you, trolls, for your unenlightened opinion. Welcome in." You get them, Chris. I like that. But again, we joke around with you guys that disagree with us. It's okay to disagree with us. As long as you're respectful, I'm all for it. Let's have a healthy conversation. Like Dave over at News Treason likes to say, controversy breeds conversation. And I think that's super, super important. All right, let's see here. Boy, we've got wow. Dave Bouchard said if Kamala was elected, we'd all be farmers right now, or at least the dirt in the field. Exactly. John Gwynn said, not to mention the tens of thousands of protesters slaughtered by the Iranian government a month ago. Exactly. They have been a scourge on humanity for a long, long time. Since the mid 70s is when it happened. And do you guys remember? Well, you guys are probably too young, but I remember when the hostages were taken.
Yes, we remember that. You're not that old, Sam.
Okay,
or maybe we are that old.
Exactly. I remember back then, people, no matter what flavor of Middle Eastern you were, myself included, everybody was against Iran when that took place. And now you have this unification globally of the Iranian people and positive, uplifting freedom, for lack of a better term, in Iran. This is historic, you guys. We say this all the time on the show. We are living in historic times. I can't stress that enough. This is a big, big deal. Not just the Iran thing, but everything that's surrounding it. All right, let's see here. Hey, Rebel Chick is here. Hey, Rebel Chick. The hottest is here. Oh, we got another Trump trade from Chris Romano. Chris, you're the best. Thank you. The hottest is here, and I don't say the end of your name, but good morning.
Good morning, Shane.
It's only because I know what it means. That's why I don't say it. Melvin71 said Carter was president. Yes, exactly. Talk about, okay, let's compare and contrast here. Clinton, Carter, right? Sends a couple of, Blackhawks that I don't know if they got shot down. I remember what happened now. Compared to President Trump. Have you guys seen that video? Dave, maybe you can pull it up. But it's the one where it says they ask Kamala about Iran and she just says don't. And then what's his name? What's
Biden?
Biden. There you go. They asked Biden, and they said about Iran, he goes, don't. And then they cut to President Trump and he says, I'm going to bomb the shit out of him. Oh my God, that was class. Can anybody pull that up? Do we have the ability to pull that up?
Probably Alex would be easier.
Oh my God. I think I sent it to you on I don't know where I sent it to you, but I think I sent it to you somewhere. It was absolutely cracking me up. Kathleen Garcia is here. Hey, Kathleen and Sue B. Kathleen said I had a hard time finding you. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and that's another thing I need to bring up to everybody. I've gotten a lot of messages about the superfan thing. Thank you, first of all, for being interested in supporting this channel. But if you would like to become a superfan, you need to update your app. Apparently, that's where the challenge has been because the algorithm is changing all the time. You need to update your app, and then you can join as a superfan. And it is truly appreciated, everyone that has and is going to.
Sam, you saying that reminded me like nowadays parents, don't do that. That's not nice.
Right.
In the old days, don't
exactly,
do that.
Dude. Exactly. Now, my dad.
That's Trump.
My dad, Big Mike, you didn't mess with Big Mike. His hands were so thick. His father, my grandfather, hands were so thick he couldn't make a fist. He would hit people open-handed. My dad had the same type of thing. His hands were so thick. I didn't need a belt, man. I just, if I saw my dad coming with an anchor on one forearm and a wolf on the other, I knew I was in big trouble. That was serious stuff.
Exit stage left. I bet you your running was good back then.
There's no running from Big Mike. Are you kidding me? Shit. Come on now. Hey, Kathleen Paschke's over here on Facebook. Hey, Kathleen. David Rawls said, Blackhawks armed with wax. Let's not get too distracted. Oh, David, of course it had to be you. Uh-huh. Look who it is. Susie Kabloozy is here. Hi, Susie. Kevin Keesler said the same thing. He said it took him 3 or 4 times to try to log into the live. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but thanks for being consistent or diligent about it. Crystal Zesky said, when I Saw my mom and her incredible right hook. I ran for the hill. Exactly. I mean, come on, compare and contrast. Back when we were younger, you feared your parents to some degree, right? Today, oh, you're going to get a timeout. Oh, I'm going to take away your iPad. Which one do you think is more effective? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My mom would grab anything she could get her hand on. Hot wheel track. Holy crap. You want to talk about staying bamboo stick? Like, it didn't matter. Phone, she was going to get me.
Exactly.
God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Nurse said, laugh out loud, Sam. They'll never forget about the wax. I know. You guys are cracking me up. Oh, gosh. Lisa Maria said, what is Ellen DeGeneres? Oh, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I mean, there is so much going on, you guys, with the supposed entertainment industry. And you know what? Let's talk about that. So everybody here, a lot of people that I'm familiar with that are deeply into the entertainment industry, actors, actresses, directors, producers, I know a lot of them. And they were all convinced that Netflix was going to take Warner Brothers. And I kept saying, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They thought I was crazy until a couple of days ago when it was announced that Paramount is going to get Warner Brothers. Who owns Paramount? Larry Ellison. Who's friends with President Trump? Larry Ellison. What group owns CNN? Now it's Larry Ellison. Where do you think this is going, Alex?
Well, once the deal is done, they being Paramount will control Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers Pictures, Warner Brothers Television Studios, New Line Cinema, DC Entertainment, HBO, HBO Max, CNN, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, TLC, Food Network, HGTV, and other subsidiaries, Turner Broadcasting, Warner Brothers Games, various international networks as well. We have seen a proliferation of all of those different media types, including video games, with the wing nut messaging. I'll just say it that way. I mean, even so much down to the video games and the messaging that you see in the storylines of video games. Now, why would they do that? Because who's playing the video games besides, 53-year-old men like me? The youth, right? And it's just another way for them to infiltrate. So, I mean, what happens when the news is no longer biased and they actually report on news, facts, they bring receipts, investigative journalism has a rebirth? Man, what a great time to be alive.
Amen. 100%. James?
Well, comparatively, Allen Media Group has 28 stations, all affiliated with ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox in 21 different United States markets. They say they're selling to reduce debt. Okay, well, that tells you what happened to them and what side of the fence they were on. Sinclair Group to sell 30% of its stations. Comcast, most cable networks like CNN, MSNBC, and CNBC are all undergoing structural changes. I wonder why that is. Is it the same reason why the United States military is telling a left-wing company that they're no longer going to use their AI in combat? Is that the same reason why we're not having colleges in the Ivy League, Harvard, Georgetown? There's a bunch of them that are all, we're stepping away from that. And there's another topic in your dispatch today that I can't wait to get to.
So, and you're right, James. I forgot about Anthropic and all that took place just last week. I mean, the narratives are coming so fast and furious right now. It's hard to keep up, everybody. Deb06 said, feared that backhand. I know. Dana Mackey said, I got the wooden spoon. Exactly. Paco said, clean your room because you're next. Exactly. You guys are right on target. I'm telling you. Oh,
when my mom used to come visit once a year, I got to tell this. She used to come visit once a year, and she'd stay. She'd come around my birthday in October, and she'd stay for a month or so with us. And years ago, when my boys were younger, my youngest son says, I said, Grammar is what they called her. Grammar's coming to visit. And Kyle looks at me dead in the eyes and he says, Dad, can you ask Grammar to not bring any wooden spoons?
Exactly. Hey, Susan Kabluzzi just joined the fan club for a year. Oh, you are so wonderful. Thank you, Susie. Glad you're here. Martin's WB said Hot Wheels racetrack pieces was my mom's Switch. Exactly.
Bro.
Holy smokes. Oh, gosh. Pure Blood Holly John said, boom. And it's boom after boom after boom right now. And I, for one, am glad to see it. Gen X Holt said, back to fundamental morals and values. 100%. 100%. Oh, gosh.
Thanks for the follow, Black Temic.
Hit said, awesome indirect way of getting the left woke ideology out of media, news, and entertainment. Of course. That's part of what all of this is. Rosenleaf said, when Hollywood stops meeting with our military to make movies, that's when we're there. Exactly. Well, we are watching a movie to some degree. Let's see. Mama Balama said, the best is yet to come. Isn't that the truth? Dave Bouchard said, oh, we got a Trump train from Dave. Thank you, Dave. Chris Romano said, congratulations on your high numbers today, Sam. It's a congratulation to all of us because the word is getting out. It's not just me. It's Alex. It's Dave. It's James. It's everyone at home. That's the difference. This is a community. This is not my channel. This is our channel. All right, let's see here. David said, Trump's big, beautiful wax salon ahead of schedule and under budget. Come on, you guys. Oh, Benji, thank you for the galaxy. That was so cool. And Susie, thank you for the bouquet. So sweet. Hokey Gigi's here. Good morning, Hokey. BJ Party said I'd wear 5 pairs of underwear. Exactly. You had to back in those days. 100%. I agree. Mama Balama said, I think I was like 15 the last time I got the belt. It's so true. God, again, I didn't fear my dad's belt. I feared my dad's hand. And, you know, it was always Mom saying, you just wait till your father gets home. And I was like, oh, God, you're so right. Oh, my word. All right, let's move on. You guys are just cracking me up today. So the Justice Department is suing 5 more states for refusing to provide voter rolls. Now, we know that Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, is involved in this. It's on multiple fronts. James, what do you make of it?
You know, for us to take control of voter fraud, the quickest way to get to those people is not just the suing; it's taking them and not federally fund them for certain things. That's the quickest thing that opens their eyes. When we stop federal funding for a lot of different things, they start to squeal. So they're going to comply, guarantee you.
Yeah, 100%, Dave.
Well, it's an easy decision. Obviously, without handing those over, there's a reason why they don't want to hand those over. I mean, they're targeting 29 states and the District of Columbia to demand their voter data, and they will not do it as of right now. But
it's coming, baby.
James said, they will hand it over.
And you know what's interesting? Week before last, they said that the Supreme Court was coming out with 3 decisions. 1 that following week and 2 last week. The other 2 never came. I found that interesting. Right, exactly. Alex?
The receipts. You've got to come with the receipts, right? When you go to any DMV, you go to purchase a tobacco product or alcohol product, what do you have to produce? You have to produce identification, a valid identification. It is such a mess what has transpired for a long time in voter registration rolls. People that were and were not still alive, people that were and were not part of the word citizen. It's a mess. I've said it before. Captain Seth Keschel went through every single county, over 3,000 counties, and he's a statistician. Numbers are what he understands. And statistically, there are a lot of impossibilities that transpired, and it's taken 6 years, but maybe we're going to find out that our tinfoil hats were gold.
Exactly.
And Brian said they need to shovel snow in New York. You need 2 forms of ID.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Oh, but by the way,
Oh,
they can't pay you for it.
yeah,
That's all right.
exactly.
Here's an IOU. Here's an IOU.
Exactly. Melfin71, Melissa, thank you for all the gifts. And Holly, thank you. You're such a sweetheart. Blue Flames 41, thank you. Thank you. Nice birds on your head there, James. Who was that
Ooh, I
from?
missed
Blue
it.
Flames 41. No, it was from. Who was it that said that? I don't know.
Dave
Who's?
sent
Oh, it was
that, too.
Melfin71. Melissa, you're so sweet. Oh my gosh. I'm out of breath, you guys. So let's talk a little bit about the Clintons. So you have Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton last week getting their interviews or deposed or whatever the hell it was. I don't even know what it was. Thank you, Mrs. Meggs. Representative Nancy Mace said that Hillary Clinton was unhinged and screaming at her testimony. And then Dave over at X22 reported that Bill Clinton testified under oath that to his knowledge, President Donald Trump was not involved with Jeffrey Epstein. How does the left spin that other than that? James?
Gosh, the actor may not have been lying. I don't know which one you want to call an actor, if not both of them, but we know what supposedly happened to Hillary already and Bill. I think probably the coolest thing about this, and it's an old subject, but the coolest part about this is that proceeding was stopped by Lauren Boebert doing a photo leak to the press, and they put it out there, and they just stopped it right then and there. I mean, she trolled him big time, and I thought that was a great move.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
It's going to be interesting. I know, having them not go to DC wasn't right. They needed to go there, but it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. And I know there sounds like that video may be released of Hillary here eventually. So we'll see what comes out of that.
Exactly. Whoever she is, the lady who gets shoved into a van, goes to her daughter's because she has a cold, walks out 2 hours later, 6 inches shorter than when she walked in. Okay, yeah, that's really her. Melfin71, Melissa, thank you. Alex?
I did not have relations with that woman. You can't trust what either one of the you know how to tell when the Clintons are lying, their lips are moving. Key statements that Hillary made, because she testified for over six hours. Like, that's a lot of testimony, stating that she had no knowledge of Epstein or Maxwell. But the fact is, both Epstein and Maxwell were at Chelsea's wedding and reception. She described Maxwell as a casual acquaintance and expressed 100% confidence that her and her husband knew nothing about the activities. After the proceedings, she called it a partisan political theater and an insult to the American people. Well, I don't think the American people are stupid, so you can peddle that somewhere else. Bill's key statements in a 6-hour session. He denied any knowledge of the Epstein crimes, described their relationship as a brief acquaintance. But if you look at the photos that you can now have access to and metadata, timestamps, those are spread out over years. So how does that make sense? Brief acquaintance. Brief acquaintance. I don't get in hot tubs with brief acquaintances. I'm just going to put that out there.
Exactly.
He stated, I saw nothing. I did nothing wrong. I had no idea the crimes being committed. He claimed he would have reported Epstein if he was aware. As someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, I would have turned him in myself. Like, bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's all theater. It's all grandstanding. It's not. Nothing's going to come of it until it does. So,
Rosenleaf said, it's so funny to me that Bill Clinton has been pretty truthful a few times. And you're absolutely right, Rosenleaves. He was giving a speech. I can't remember where it was, but he was talking about President Trump having the right to arrest him. And what he said was, yeah, he can arrest me. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, yeah, he can arrest me and legally do so. And he would like to request that he goes to Guantanamo Bay instead of Supermax in Colorado because he doesn't like the cold weather. I mean, you're absolutely right, Rosenleaves. He has been truthful. And again, I don't think that's by chance. PJ Party said Bill wants to go to jail to get away from Hillary. Exactly. And wouldn't you want to get away from her? Exactly.
Please arrest me. Please arrest me.
Wildlife fan said Teresa Barnhart. Hey, Magic's here. Hi, Magic. John Langlois said, John Langlois said, Alex, which one, blue dress or hot tub, etc. Exactly. Sue B said, I love the dress that you put up there.
Sex with that woman.
Exactly. Oh, you guys are cracking me up in the chat today. All right. So, Scouting, did I get everybody on that one? I did, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Scouting America is going to alter its policies, including a requirement that members use biological sex at birth, not gender identity, to maintain Pentagon support. Now, here's the thing, you guys. If somebody wants to consider themselves a different gender, go ahead. Go ahead. As long as I don't have to say it. I mean, if that makes you happy and nobody's getting hurt, go ahead. But when it comes to whether or not that person who's a man is a woman or a woman who is a man, biology is biology. End of story. Dave?
Well, especially when it comes to our kids. But, that's something they've been tackling for the last, 14 months, and it's going to keep going down and getting rid of the BS out of schools, businesses, and all that across the board.
Yeah. Melfin71 said he had blue butt. Exactly, blue. We know what it is, the round things. James?
Well, this is I've been waiting for this topic because there's more to it than meets the eye. Hundreds of licenses in Alex's state of Kansas for transgenders are no longer valid. If they want to drive, they will need to update their information. What this new law will also do is prevent or prohibit individuals from using bathrooms that do not align with their sex at birth. So there's more to this. This is a complicated issue, but I think Kansas is the forerunner or at the forefront of leading what every state in America should follow.
Yeah.
Okay, new rule moving forward. If something's happening in your state, you report on it. You stole my damn thunder because I was super excited about that one.
Exactly.
No, it is. And what's funny is it came from a very much a blue,
Dave, holy smokes.
very much a blue governor. So I'm surprised that this has happened. But look, common sense. I don't care what you identify as, what grown adults do behind closed doors or what they want to do. My ex-wife worked for Sears for years, and there was a cross-dressing man that used to come in, and she would help him, like, get what he needed to get and go where he needed to go and do whatever. And nobody put all of this crap on that is going on now. Two of my mom's best friends, Vanessa and Dina, growing up as a child, they were a lesbian couple, but it was not this preponderance of you will accept and you have like the insanity has to stop. Bring common sense back. Look, what you were born as is what's on your driver's license. But here's a solution. Family bathrooms. It has either or, right? You go in, close the door, do what you need to do. There's no reason for either to be in the others, period.
Right, 100%. Justin, Mel's Cattle Company said, I'm first time watching. I love it already. Well, welcome in, Justin. Welcome in.
Welcome in, Justin.
Yeah, we get a little dicey here from time to time, but that's all right. Pureblood Holly John said, oh, the Pete subject again. Yay. And Lisa Maria followed right up saying, we love Pete. Yes, I know. We all know that you both love Pete. You and so many other women in the chat here, or in the community, I should say. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Justin said, laugh out loud, Michael Obama. Exactly.
Big Mike.
Big Mike. Okay.
The other Big Mike.
The other Big Mike, exactly. AI takeover complete. Data center construction surpassed office construction for the first time. Is this possibly where some of this commercial real estate that has not been producing and not been going in the right direction, is it possible that some of that could be reallocated towards AI? Is it possible that I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but is it possible that maybe that's how some of this commercial real estate gets utilized profitably? Alex?
I don't think so, because the infrastructure that you need for data centers is completely different than commercial real estate, um, office buildings, shopping malls, other commercial type spaces. Um, in some instances, you might be able to, but the size and scope of these data centers that are being built to support and grow an AI infrastructure are massive, right? What was it? The metadata center is supposed to be the size of Long Island. Like, you're talking massive infrastructure, massive buildings, power, cooling, the fiber that needs to come into these data centers to be able to handle the amount of bandwidth. It's staggering. So I don't think so, Sam. I think that this is going to end up being a separate portion of what is commercial real estate. It's huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking trillions of dollars when we get to the other side of it.
Right. Cindy's here. She said the first time watching too. Well, welcome in, Cindy. Glad you made it. Excuse me. James?
As of early this year, 2,788 data centers are currently under construction across the United States, which is being driven by the AI supercycle. These 2,788 will be added to the 4,000 that are already in operation. $89 billion is spent in 2026 so far, which is a 700% increase from 2022. Power procurement, permitting hurdles, and zoning challenges stand in their way. So we talk about nuclear power for these data centers. That's one cure. We talk about permitting. That's up to the word of the people, right? That's up to the community. So the people have to approve that. And as far as zoning, boy, that can be a huge hurdle by itself. But then you go into how convincing could they be by saying, we'll give this much money and you give us the right of eminent domain to put this up.
Right. Exactly.
That's a question mark.
Yeah, it could very well be. I Speak 1717 said, is it okay if I love Pete? I'll keep it in the closet. Well, I think all of us love Pete here on the screen. Probably not in the same way that Lisa and Holly love him, but yes, he has our support. Hey, Kiddo just showed up. Hey, Kiddo, glad you can make it. Robbie Miller, thank you for all the gifts. You guys are great. And it was, Karen Cruz, thank you as well. AJMCSJ said, hello, sorry I'm late, so late, but happy I made some of the show. Well, we're happy you made it too, AJMCSJ. Glad you are here. Rosen Leaves put Pete with a whole bunch of fire in the chat too. Wendy J, I love Pete. We know. Oh, you guys are cracking me up.
Settle down.
Exactly. Somebody get them a fan quick. All right.
That's right.
Moving on. So, speaking of AI, speaking of technology, talking about big tech, Elon Musk's SpaceX plans to file for their IPO soon, possibly this month, at $1.75 trillion valuation. That is huge. James, what do you make of it?
Well, their aim is to grow from 10 million users to 25 million users by the end of 2026. The service is designed to provide high-speed internet, including video calls in remote areas using unmodified smartphones. It fills coverage gaps in remote areas, at sea, and during emergencies when terrestrial networks go down.
Well, and that's one portion of it. Exactly. Kiddo, thank you for the gifts. Wildlife fan, you're so sweet. Robbie Miller, thank you. Dave, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's interesting. They said the valuation is heavily supported by Starlink. What'd you say, 79% across the board on that? I mean, it's insane what Elon's doing. And obviously when you make good products, that's what comes out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Kiddo said in her chat, said, I watched your live for 300 minutes. Wow. Excellent, Kiddo. Thank you for being here. Oh, that's cracking me up. James, or let's see, who did I miss? Alex? Sorry, go ahead. I know.
The reality behind what's happening with SpaceX, Twitter, X, Tesla, all of those things, I think Dave hit the nail on the head. When you make a good product like Starlink, affordable, reliable. You reap the benefits of what you sow, right? And I think the big thing coming for everybody to do a little Googling or a little researching on is what is X money going to do to the game? X money is a big deal. You got to think about his roots as one of the co-founders of PayPal. How has PayPal over the last 20 years changed the payment infrastructure of the world? The world, not the United States, the world, right? The number of transactions that are happening. And if you listen to what he says about the number of transactions that he's hoping to capture and what his plan is for X money, I think that 1 trillion number is probably easily justified with where the companies are going.
100%, I agree. I think we only know a fraction of what's coming. In terms of Pete Hegseth, Knit Mom said, "I'm old, but Pete is fire." Exactly. You guys are cracking me up. Oh God. Oh. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Pure Blood Holly Johns, thank you for all the gifts. Kiddo, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. John Gwynn, Kiddo, Benji 1959, Silver Fox, Mama Balama, Towie Bixby, Dave Bouchard, Melfin 71, aka Melissa Flinner, Wildlife Fan, Chris Romano, Tire Man, Martini Time, Wendy J, Robbie Miller, XRP Mama, Blue Flames 41, Jennifer Mercantile 15, Miss Megs, Pure Blood Holly Johns, Wendy, Kevin Kiesler, and the list goes on. Thank you all for the gifts. You're so sweet. PJ Party said, "My finger hits. Thanks for tapping. Where are we at?" Holy smokes, 143,000 likes. You guys are awesome. That is so sweet. All right, so we're going to be signing off now on Facebook and YouTube. As you know the drill, we can't dance over there. They're commies or something. I don't know what it is. But we'll see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Have a great day. Let's